Welcome to the Employee Performance Review process with the Trakstar system. My name's Kelly Ellison, the People and Culture Leader. At the end of the session today, participants will be able to gain an overview of the employee performance work cycle, understand the performance review process, and successfully navigate around Trakstar. The employee performance work cycle is a continuous work cycle which commences when an employee starts with a company to when they conclude their employment with the company. The cycle is in 4 stages and is built to be a continual process. The 4 stages are plan, manage, review, and reward and recognition. Feedback and coaching from an employee's manager, co-workers, supervisors, and management team occurs throughout the process. The plan stage commences when an employee commences employment with the company or when they have had a change in their position. For example, if they had a change in their role in any way or a transfer from one work location to another. This phase always begins with a position description which underpins the expectations by the company of the employee to perform their role. It is critical that both the employee and manager refer back to the position description as a guide, as it will help set goals of the employee. Conversations between the manager and the employee is critical at this stage and critical to the success of the role. This allows expectations to be discussed and agreed upon between the manager and the employee. This is the stage where true clarity is provided with both parties. Manage is where a manager is managing an employee's work performance and is in between the review stages. This is where feedback and coaching is the greatest. While it does capture the process of performance management in the event an employee is not meeting expectations, the stage should not always reflect a negative connotation, as this is where an employee and manager is discussing and monitoring performance and ensuring clarity is maintained between both parties. Support is identified and provided, and monitoring of performance is obtained to help support and provide evidence to the review stage. The review phase is the formal, regular and planned stages of the probation, semi-annual and annual review processes. It is at this stage that the monitoring from the managed stage is provided as evidence to help fairly assess and summarise the employee's work performance. It is also at this stage where an employee is set new goals, identified career development plans, and training requirements are discussed and set.
The Buggles review process comprises of 3 stages, the first being the probation review. This is from when a new employee commences employment with the company. It is completed towards the end of each month for the first 3 months of employment or until the probationary period has been successfully completed. The second stage is a semi-annual performance review. This is completed with all employees by the 30th of December in each year. The final stage is the annual performance review. It is completed with all employees by the 30th of June in each year. This is in line with the annual award review period.
The recognition and reward phase recognises good performance of an employee. These strategies can be both through financial and non-financial means. Non-financial recognition can include praise from a co-worker, supervisor or family member, just to name a few. Other non-financial rewards can be discussed and implemented by the employee's manager. Effective recognition can affect significantly to an employee's attitude and behaviour within the workplace.
We will now go through an employee's individual review process. This process is the same for probationary, 6-monthly and annual reviews. Firstly, the review is due. The employee logs onto Trakstar and completes their self-review. This allows the employee to rate their own performance during the review periods. A peer review may be conducted if applicable within this stage. The employee's manager completes their review of the employee's performance in preparation for the meeting which has been arranged to be conducted between the manager and the employee. Once complete, the review is then submitted and archived. The employee has access to this review through their login details in Trakstar.
Performance appraisals create a formal opportunity for a manager and employee to make an overall assessment of an employee's performance and potential. Performance appraisals establish individual performance contributions and provides a consistent and transparent measurement tool and process. It also provides clarity, direction, two-way communication and feedback for both the manager and the employee. The main objectives of the performance review system are to align employee performance with business goals, improve overall performance of the company, improve employee satisfaction and retention, to enable talent management and succession planning, and to reinforce the company's culture across the business. The expected benefits of regular reviews are to strengthen communication channels, teamwork and productive relationships, clarify individual contribution towards overall goals, develop a shared understanding of the goals and expectations, to provide individuals direct feedback about their performance and behaviour, and to plan succession and development opportunities. When preparing for the performance appraisal, an employee can expect to receive confirmation of a set time and place to meet in private, free from interruptions from their manager. The employee will be given at least 1 week's notice prior to the review to ensure they are given sufficient time to complete their self-review on Trakstar. To log into the Trakstar system, the details will be provided individually by the People and Culture Department at the time of commencement with the company. As you can see from the screen, the details that are required include the website of the system, the company name, the username, and the password. The first time when logging into the Trakstar system, employees are strongly encouraged to change their password. You can change your password either at this first time login or at any time. Employees can go to My Info and in their personal information select Change Password. They then enter their previous password and a new one can then be set. Once completed, then press Save. We're now going through an on-screen demonstration of the Trakstar system. This process will take approximately 19 minutes.
Hello, it's Julie with Trakstar. It's my pleasure today to deliver employee training to you. By the way, if you're a manager, we'll have a separate recording for you. Okay, 3 things on our Buggles Trakstar employee training today. Number 1, I'll take you to our website and show you where some additional resources are so that you can find them after the training if they're necessary. Second, I'd like to talk about your timeline for appraisals at Buggles so that you can understand how the digital appraisal workflow will look. And last, we'll log into the software and take a look at your tasks inside Trakstar and what that interface looks like and what you can expect. Okay, let's begin. First of all, Trakstar.com is our name. This is where you'll go to do your online performance appraisals. It is spelled Trakstar. There is no C, and that's important to know. So that's where you'll go. Up here at the top right, you'll find your login page. And when you log in, you will come here, and your company name won't be Promantic. It's going to be Buggles, Buggles. You'll have your username and your password that will have been given to you by your Trakstar administrator. Okay, let's go back to the Trakstar page. Okay, here on the Trakstar page, let's look at those additional resources for you. Please notice this support link right here across the top. Let's click on it. I'll show you what's there. This won't take but a minute. First, a bank of video tutorials here at the top left will probably be your most useful area for help. If you click on these, you'll see videos that are grouped into 3 segments: the employee videos, the manager videos, and Trakstar administrator videos. The ones that will be most useful for you will be the bank of employee videos. If you're a manager, the manager videos, obviously, and the administrator ones are for 1 or 2 people that set up your system inside Trakstar and probably won't be as much use to you. Okay, let's use our back button. Below the line, you'll see another area that might be useful to you. This is a group of articles here for employees and managers. You'll see an employee quick start guide in PDF form and a manager quick start guide. They're very easy to use. If you click on them, you'll be able to see a PDF. It'll be big, beautiful, very easy for you to use. Okay, let's go back on that. All right. And below that, you'll see some static articles. Here's an article, for example, on how to take notes on an accomplishment or how to score your self-appraisal. If you click on these, you'll find some very simple instructions, with anything in blue being something you're looking for in the interface. And if you click on that, you'll see a nice annotated graphic for yourself that will help you locate what you're looking for on screen. So all of those are great resources for you after today's training. Okay, now let's talk about Buggles and your scoring windows here. Let me just hide a couple windows. Perfect. All right. What you're looking at here is a representation of time. This circular pie chart starts in January at the top and goes all the way through December. And you'll notice, of course, obviously, there are two main areas, the blue areas and the orange areas. And these represent the digital workflow in Trakstar. So if you're an employee, you would start with a fresh blank document in January, to which you and your manager would add goals, and then all the way through the end of May, you'd update those goals, take some notes on your progress, and essentially just keep up to date with what your expectations are. Then in June, something changes inside Trakstar. That same document that you've been adding goals and updating, taking notes on, that document turns into something that is scorable. And you'll see a difference between the document that you see for most of the year, from January through May, to the one you see in June. And the difference is Trakstar adds a rating bar, a place where you can actually score yourself and rate yourself. And that's what's different inside the scoring window. Then, starting in July, you'll have a fresh new document, and you'll go all the way through until December, when again you'll hit another 30-day scoring window. Now here are some Buggles specifics that are kind of important for you. You're starting this process, if you're watching this video now, you're starting it in June 2013, and your appraisals are due on July 1st. So you are entering your scoring window the day that you open Trakstar. So your first job will be inside the orange wedge. You're going to start scoring yourself. After that's done, your appraisal will be routed for approval and ultimately archived by your manager and presented to you. The fresh new document will start in July. So what I'd recommend is this. Because of when you're starting, you may not have those specific goals and notes entered. But in July, after you're done with your current appraisal and it has been scored and archived, you'll enter some goals and notes for that fresh new period. They'll be specific to you, and then you'll be able to score those come December. Okay, so that's what your timeline looks like at Buggles. And let's go ahead and log into Trakstar now, and we'll go ahead and look at the software and see what will you do. And we're going to begin with someone who is in the scoring window. Okay, we are logged into Trakstar now as a fictitious employee that works for your company. His name is Jeffrey Rush. And today Jeffrey works at Buggles, and it is his job, just like it will be yours, to accomplish his self-appraisal. That's the first task he'll do. So when you log into Trakstar for the first time, you'll see an interface very similar to this with, of course, your name on it. In the task list, you'll see that there is one thing for you to do, or for us to do, acting as Jeffrey, and that is for us to score the appraisal, which is due on July 1st, just as yours will be. This is your work area. Anything that's in your task list, you will have been alerted by email, so it won't be a surprise to you. Those emails are helpful. They're intended to keep you on track. It is important for you to do your self-appraisal. Once you've received that email, your manager may be waiting on you, so that would be the thing that would be most appreciated, I'm sure. Now, across the top, you'll see your navigation bar with multiple icons, and the one I want to focus on before we go to score the self-appraisal is the My Info tab. When you click on this, you'll see the information that Trakstar has about you. It's pretty simple stuff: your name, your employee number, your date of hire, and whatnot. The most important thing on this page that I wish to point out to you is this change password link. This is where you'll go ahead and change your password. You can use the password that your Trakstar administrator gave to you, enter a new one, and then verify it and change it. That's an important step. Below that, you'll see the person to whom you report. Oh, look, Jeffrey reports to Nicole Kidman. He is an educator assistant, and this is his performance appraisal. This is his active appraisal, and below that, Jeffrey's just able to see his basic org chart, which is, of course, that, as we mentioned, he reports to Nicole Kidman. Okay, let's go back to this task list, and let's get our self-appraisal done. All right. Here, Jeffrey needs to score his self-appraisal. Let's go ahead and do that. This is your first glimpse at the form inside Trakstar. The first 2/3 of the screen is the work area, the actual appraisal form, and the last third is the summary outline. You're able to see here he's got a position description, and all of these Z's, by the way, those your appraisal won't have those. Those were simply for us to be able to sort them easily with our demo people inside the sortable lists. Yours won't have those. They won't look that odd. But here you'll be able to click on Read More to see the job description for an educator assistant, or Read Less. Look for the blue links inside Trakstar. They are always active areas in this bright blue. There are multiple sections inside this appraisal form, starting with educational program and practice, and you'll be able to see those over here in the summary outline. Anything that's pushed out is a section header, and anything that is indented is an element inside that section. For example, under educational programming and practice, you'll see there are two elements: educational programming as the educator's assistant and child's development. Here's the start of a new section. Once we scroll down, you'll be able to see how that looks on the actual form. Physical environment, again, another section. So multiple sections, you'll be able to scroll through this. But the basic idea is you find your section, you look at the element header, in this case educational programming for an educator assistant. You're able to read the definition here: assist in the preparation, implemented, evaluated, and current and meets Bugle standards, licensing regulations, and national quality standards. You'll be able to look at the rating bar and determine how you perceive your performance to be against this element. So on educational programming, Jeffrey's going to believe that he is effective. Under effective, there is a leveled definition. You can go ahead and read what that looks like. They should be different here. They are across each of these different levels, and you can decide which one might match you the best. When you're done, it is optional. However, it's recommended for you to go ahead and add a comment. And Jeffrey's going to say, I tried to be great here. Okay, he can do that. He can add the comment. If he wants to attach a file and prove or somehow or another document how he's been working towards educational program, he can certainly do that. PDF, Excel, etc. Here on attach a file. But let's go ahead and add the comment. And now, because Jeffrey's picture's in there, we see a nice attribution as well as his comment that he is giving to his manager, Nicole Kidman. All right, let's go to the next one. Child's development, educator assistant, same process here. We won't go through the entire form. I'll let you do that. I just want to show you the basic idea of, please read the header here, look at the definition, use this Read More tab or Read Less if you like. Decide how you perceive your performance to be. Maybe that's highly effective in this area. Add a comment if you wish. I do wish to add a comment here. And attach a file if you like. If you do that, you simply pick that off of your hard drive, no matter what that may be. Look, I'll just pick up this little picture that we did, our timeline, no big deal. And go ahead and add that comment. You'll go down to the next section. You can see this white line here. This is a section break. Now we're moving on to children's health and safety. You'll go ahead and rate yourself there. You'll notice the weights for each of these sections are appropriately labeled there, so you can see their overall value in the appraisal total. You'll go ahead and rate yourself, add comments, and when you are done, and by the way, I'm just going to quickly wrap this up, so I bet your screen is moving fast. What's important, watch what's happening on the right-hand side. All of those things that we've rated are being automatically saved inside Trakstar. The only thing that isn't automatically saved are your comments. You have to deliberately save those. That's a good thing, so go ahead and do it. Rate everything as you see fit, and when you're done, you're going to get a message, and that's why I want to do this with you. You're going to get a message about being done with the appraisal. So let's do that. Okay. We are now done. There you go. Do you see that? All scoring elements have been completed. You can now send this to your manager. Summary comments are optional, but until everything is done here, you cannot send this off to your manager. Just look and make sure you don't have any dashes. If this button is not active, it might be that you've accidentally overlooked one or whatever. Summary comments are optional. That dash is okay, but everything else needs to be done. When you're done, send this off to your manager. And what you'll be able to do at that point is wait for your manager to complete his or her tasks, ultimately archive the appraisal, and present it back to you. So that's the scoring window. Okay, so Jeffrey has completed his appraisal. His manager, Nicole, has completed the appraisal of him. It's been returned to him. We're now on July 2nd, which means that Jeffrey is starting a new time frame. Remember the blue window? He's going all the way through up until December when that next appraisal is due on this biannual process. So it's Jeffrey's job as an employee to add some goals now and take some notes on his performance. So notice something has changed. In his task list, Jeffrey now has an appraisal. It is now due, because the other one's finished, this new one is due on December 31st. Jeffrey needs to set some goals for himself, just as you will need to do that for yourself as well. Now remember, Jeffrey's manager, Nicole, may also set some goals for him. Both sides can participate in this, which we hope really empowers you to participate with your manager and contribute in goal setting. Okay, let's go ahead and set goals. This is what Jeffrey is allowed to do, by the way. When he comes in, he'll see his form. The biggest difference here between the form that was scored and this one that's happening now is notice there is no rating bar. That's because we don't rate ourselves until that orange scoring window opens up. But what Jeffrey can do is add goals. And there is a section down here. Notice I'm scrolling over here on the right-hand side in the summary outline. See this goals section? Look, there's nothing in it. We need to populate that. The rest of these sections we're not going to touch, but let's add a goal to that goals section. So let's add a goal, and maybe that is let's create a new one because you may do the same thing. Maybe that is to get a starring role in a new movie. Of course, that may not be, maybe that's your goal at Buggles too. But for Jeffrey, that's his goal. And yours may be to attend certification classes or improve something else that you need to improve at Buggles. Okay, let's get a starring role in a new movie. We'll go ahead and add that goal. We'll add a description, which we're just going to copy and paste in there. Let's go ahead and check our rating scales. I'm going to leave it at this. You may have some instruction from your management about which one you're supposed to pick. I'm going to choose the monthly appraisal 5-point here. We'll go ahead and save that goal. And Trakstar is going to force us to put it in the right section. We'll go ahead and add that. And now notice what happens. That goal section is no longer blank. We have a line item here called Get a Starring Role in a New Movie. Oh, get a new starring a new movie. Well, you get the idea. Here is the new goal for Jeffrey, and it's been added, which is perfect. And at this point, Jeffrey can add a measurement if he wants. A measurement is something that allows us to get really specific about that goal if we want, and they're kind of nice to have. A lot of our customers use them. Let's get a role in a new movie. There we go. Get a role in a new movie. That's Jeffrey's goal. He's going to say that he is, and he gets to choose some things here. How far along is he on that goal? Maybe he's 60%. He's made some progress on that. He can say he's in progress. Because it is now in our time machine, it is July 2nd. Let's just say that he has from July 2nd until maybe the end of the year to get that done, or maybe next March, whatever. It doesn't have to coincide with your appraisal cycle. Sometimes goals don't. They can be in or outside that window. If Jeffrey wants to add an email to remind himself about that goal, maybe in this case, let's make it 100 days before that's due because it's kind of a ways off. He can choose to send that reminder to himself, which is to get a role in a new movie. Remember to do that, and we'll save it. You can set those for yourselves as well. You get the idea. Toggle before or after and send it to yourself or your manager if you like. If you need to set 2 email reminders, use your active blue plus button there. We'll save. All right. There's a task list here. Maybe Jeffrey needs to read some scripts. And then maybe he needs to talk with an agent. Maybe he even needs to audition. So those are some tasks that he has around getting a role in a new movie. And of course, yours will be more relevant to the goals you're setting, but you can do the same thing. Now, it's important to know if you want to add 2 goals, go ahead and repeat this process. We'll add a new one. Let's add something relevant here. Attend certification workshops. We'll just add that one that was already there, and we'll put it in the goals section. Perfect. Now we've got 2 goals in our goals section, and you may have 2 or 3 or however many depending on your role, but that's how you add goals to Trakstar. Now, last thing that's important, and we are done. Throughout the year, in between July 2nd and December 31st, Jeffrey might make some progress on some of these goals and he wants to update them. Let's use this goal here to get a new role in a starring movie. Wow, my tongue is tied. Get a role in a new movie to star in it. Jeffrey can come in periodically to Trakstar, and Trakstar will remind him to do this, to come in and just keep it up to date. If he's more than 60% complete, he can edit this and say, "Ooh, wait a minute, I'm now 80%. Ooh, I'm ahead of target on that. I'm about to land a new role." He can do that and update it, and so can you, and so can your manager. And I'd encourage you to do that throughout the year. So that's something he can do. Additionally, on this, he can add a note if he wants. He can also add a note on any of these areas. The place and the location is the same. Here's a note. Let's just go ahead and add it. I am making fantastic progress. About to land a new role. Okay? He can type that comment in. This is called note taking. We encourage you to do it not just on your goals, but on all of the areas of your appraisal. Go ahead and decide to keep that, make it public, let your manager see it, or keep it private, something just you want to read. Attach a file to substantiate it if you want, and add that note. These notes will help you tremendously at the time of the appraisal. They will allow you to remember the things that you've done towards your goals and quickly rate yourself, and they'll be very helpful for your manager as well. So again, take notes. They're here underneath each of these elements. You can add notes wherever you like, and we encourage you to do so. Okay. That's it. Good luck. I hope Trakstar is successful for you. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to your Trakstar administrator, or your Trakstar administrator can reach out to us. But one way or another, we hope this digital process helps make things a lot easier for you. Take care.
So to recap today's presentation, performance appraisals and probationary reviews fall in an employee's work performance cycle in the review stage. All employees' performance appraisals and probationary reviews are now to be completed within Trakstar between an employee and their manager. Semi and annual reviews are to be completed within the months of June and December, which is highlighted in orange in this graph. These reviews are due to be completed at the beginning of the month and are due at the end of the month. Probationary reviews are completed at the end of the first 3 months of employment from commencement with the company or due to a change of position. During the entire year, Trakstar can be used to set goals and to add notes. This falls in the manage phase of the employee's work performance cycle. This is highlighted in the blue section of the graph. This can include attaching and uploading any applicable file notes.
Congratulations, you have successfully completed this module. There will now be an assessment piece required by all employees to be completed and returned to their manager.